everybody, welcome back to episode 3 of the autumn vlogs. I'm in a good mood still. I have absolutely romanticised my morning. I've had such a good morning. Well, Mr. Penrose went off at 4:30 this morning. Bless him. Oh my goodness. He's on the plane now, on his way to his trip. And about 2 o'clock this morning, young P came and got in with me, and I couldn't be bothered to do the back and forth. So I just got into her bed. And then at 4 o'clock when Mr. P got up, I went and got back into my bed and spent the rest of the night in bed with P, which I actually really quite enjoy. There's nothing better than waking up to her little sleepy, smooshy little face. So cute. My son does not get in bed with us anymore. Like, he's a cuddly boy. He loves cuddling and snuggling, but he does not get in with us. That never happens anymore. But yeah, so my morning was, my sleep was a bit meh, but my morning was actually really, really lovely. I think because of that disruption, I got up really quite early. I got up about half an hour before I normally do, and I put the washing up away, I made a coffee, I drank it in bed. I had such a calm morning, which for a school morning is like unheard of. I worked really hard not to have stressful mornings. The morning used to be one of my worst times of day because I was always so stressed and I'd get so shouty and frustrated, and it just wasn't a pleasant time for anybody involved. And now I work really hard not to do that, and it's all about we've got a very, very clear, solid schedule, literally like 15-minute increments. This is when everyone has to be awake. This is when we're eating breakfast. This is when we're getting dressed. This is when we're brushing teeth. This is when we're out the door. And it's not like a strict regimen. It's just like a guidance to keep us on track so that we're not getting to that point of, we need to leave. And don't get me wrong, there are days when it doesn't go to plan. Somebody oversleeps, Penny has a meltdown, or like something or other. It doesn't always go to plan, but 9 times out of 10, our mornings are calm. And this morning was just next level. And I'm thinking, Laura, you need to get up half an hour earlier because it was such a pleasant morning. It was so nice walking the kids to school. I went to the bakery on my way back, got myself a Bakewell tart for this afternoon. Woo, so excited. And I made a granola. I hope you enjoyed that this morning. I will link the recipe below. I use a recipe for air fryer granola, but you can totally do it in the oven as well. And I do change it a little bit. The recipe I use, I always do the three times recipe. I don't get why you do the 1 time. It's nowhere near enough. You'd be finished it in like 3-4 days if you have granola every day. But I always do the 3 times quantity because I normally give some to my dad as well. And last time I made it, I gave some to my sister, and I just hardly had any left. So I've done myself a nice big amount, and I might be going to see my dad at the weekend, so if I do, I'll take some for him as well because he loves it. But I changed the quantities a little bit. I think the recipe is like 3 cups oats to 1 cup nuts, but I do 2.5 oats to 1.5 nuts and seeds just to up the protein a little bit more. And sometimes, depending on how many nuts I've got, I might even do like 2 to 2, like equal quantities nuts and oats. And then it's like coconut oil, honey. You could do maple syrup. I did a little bit of maple syrup today. And the recipe says cinnamon and vanilla essence. I don't do the vanilla essence just because I'm not the biggest vanilla fan, if I'm honest. I don't dislike it, but I'm not like, vanilla. But I do cinnamon and nutmeg. I do 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. And it's the nutmeg that makes it like pumpkin spice to me, that autumn spice, like not just cinnamon flavored, like that thing. It's just all about the nutmeg. You don't need a lot, but it makes my house smell amazing. It's freaking delicious. I have it with yogurt and fruit and like maple syrup or honey on the top. And it's just one of my favorite foods. It's one of those, I need to eat something, but I don't know what to eat, or I can't be bothered to make anything, but I don't want to just like shove rubbish in my face. It's always there. I've always got some, and oh, it saves me so many times. It's been girl dinner many times as well. The thing with Mr. Penrose out for 2 nights, it's probably going to be girl dinner again. But for me, in that recipe as well, I cook it for almost double the amount of time that it says. I cook it at 180 on my air fryer, and it's usually between 15 and 20 minutes, it depends. And I stir it a lot. My air fryer, things cook a lot quicker right at the front. And so it doesn't really matter if it's like a chicken breast or some nuggets or something, but when it's something that covers the whole bottom of the air fryer, I have to turn it quite regularly. And the thing that makes my granola extra delicious is that it's almost ever so slightly overcooked, or you could say caramelized. That's what my dad loves about it. And the way I know how much to cook it by is by the smell. And when you know, you know. So I tend to let it go for like 10 minutes, then I give it a turn, and then 5 minutes, give it a turn, and then I'll check it every few minutes because it's a fine line. And basically when you open that air fryer drawer or your oven or whatever, it suddenly smells toasted. You can see it going visually, but it's the smell. And as soon as you smell that toasted smell, it's out. And then I leave it. Let it cool. It's so hard because I just want to eat it right now. But I just leave it to cool completely, and that's how you get the clusters. A lot of people like pack it down and stuff, but when you do it in the air fryer, you do have to turn it quite a lot. So you're not always packing it down, but I learned this completely by accident. Before I just used to like let it cool a little bit and then like scoop it into a jar. And that's also fine because I sprinkle it on yogurt. I don't need it to be clumpy. But then last time I made it, I had to go out as soon as it had come out of the air fryer. And so by the time I got back, I broke it up and it was like proper clumps, and it was so nice. So there you go. That's how I make my autumnal air fryer or oven granola, and I strongly encourage you to do the same. I featured it on the last video I did on my Patreon was all my favorite autumnal recipes. Loved making that video, and I put it on there, and I've had so many of my patrons say I made the granola. It's so nice, and oh, I highly recommend. Speaking of food, whilst we're in the foodie vibe, I am also going to make a soup. I think probably not today. Maybe tomorrow, but because I have some soup in the fridge at the moment. I bought some broccoli and cheddar soup, which isn't something I'd normally go for, but it sounded really appealing, so I'm probably going to have that for lunch today. And I also use it as a pasta sauce for the kids. I just like do like a big dollop of the soup and then a little dollop of cream cheese as well, mix it all in, and they love it. So that's been my wonderful autumnal morning so far. It's 10 to 10. I've got therapy at 10, and then I'm going to get to work downstairs in the hall, and I want to spend a good, well, as long as it takes really to get the first coat of paint in the hallway done, and then hopefully I'll be done maybe 1, 2 o'clock, and that will leave me with a few hours before I pick the kids up at 5 o'clock to do some knitting. Speaking of which, I'm wearing my Midland cardigan. Honestly, the comments on yesterday's video, even though it's only been up for a few hours, like, they've been so lovely to read. It's so nice to see how excited you are, or you all are, about this pattern. I'm not going to bang on about it anymore, but for those of you new around here, because we've had a little flurry, hello, welcome, so happy to have you here. This is the Midland cardigan. This is the pattern that I've been so terrified of doing. It is a garter stitch sideways cardigan. So you cast on here and you work your way across, and then you do the back, and then you do the front, and then that, and then you pick up the sleeves and work them in the round. And as you can see, it's not flat, it's not straight, it comes down here, and it's got a double knit button band, and it's got shaping. You can see here how it comes up at the back so it doesn't fall off your shoulders, and it's got a faux seam that runs all the way down and into the cuff, and I just love it. It's one of my most worn things I've ever made. Honestly, I wear it all year round. It's made with woolly mammoth fibres, half DK, and I think I used four skeins for this one, which is a size 3. Obviously it's like quite oversized. It's oversized at the chest, but it comes down, so it's not like massive all over the body, and it's designed to be slightly cropped, so that sweet spot between your natural waist and your hips. just about there. And yeah, it's one of my favourite knits, but I've been so intimidated to share it because it's such a strange construction. I've never written anything in this construction before. It takes a lot of description, like grading it was a whole challenge, but it's one of those designs that I get asked about the most, like, where's Midland cardigan? Is it happening? And it feels so good to be like, yeah, it's happening now. I'll hopefully get the next edit back either today or tomorrow, we'll see. But yeah, I don't want to dwell. I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna do the test call as soon as possible. So something else I'd like to do today is get some content, take some fresh pictures. I did make a reel of this, a really good one actually, back in when I first made it, but that was on my old Instagram that I had to shut down. So I might have to remake a reel for it, but yeah, here she is, the Midland cardigan, and I'm wearing it today because it feels nice to actually be able to wear it on camera again. I've been too scared to wear it because I know people will be like, oh, when's pattern coming? And I'll be like, man, I'm too scared of it. What's the time? Oh yeah, a few minutes. The other thing I wanted to quickly talk about this morning is I finished my first sleeve. I did it in a day, sleeve in a day. Whoa, that's the nice thing about having a slightly deeper yoke, is that the sleeves are so quick. Loved it. Honestly, I have realised that I think in the pattern my sleeve lengths are a little bit long. I've been speaking to my testers about it, and for some people it's bang on, for some people it's a little bit too long. There is wiggle room in the sleeve to adjust the length, but I think there could be more. So I think once the test is finished and I've got everybody's feedback, I might tweak the decrease rates a little bit in the sleeve. But for me, I did have to decrease more frequently than I would have done for this size, but that's only because my yoke is a bit longer than it needs to be for my size. It still fits absolutely beautiful, but there you go. There's the cuff. It's a nice wide cuff. It sits so nicely around my hand. It's not baggy, it's not hanging off. It's just the right amount, and the length is probably about the same length as this actually. I like my sleeves to go past my cuff, sometimes past my cuff, past my wrist, sometimes even like halfway down my hand. But this is kind of in between. And I tried it on last night and I'm absolutely obsessed. I will put it on later on, but I can't believe how quickly I knit that sleeve. So I'm really hoping in the next day or two, it will be finished. And then we can cast on something new. But that's where I am. That's what's happened this morning. Thank you again for joining me. I am going to set myself up ready for therapy, and I will catch up with you guys again, probably this afternoon, hopefully after I've done some painting. I'm a little bit scared. My neck was a little bit sore this morning. I had no pain yesterday at all. Ding dong. Yes, I know, it's time for therapy. I had no shoulder pain yesterday, but I did wake up a bit sore this morning. So I've had my anti-inflammatory. I'm going to take it easy. I might leave the ceiling, see where we're at. It's not a high ceiling, thankfully. So yeah, going to get some painting done this morning. And that could be my exercise today because my God, painting, such a chore. Right, I'm going to set myself up and I will catch up with you guys in a little while.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now, there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within.
I have done that thing where I've got so unbelievably focused on a task that about 5 hours have gone past. I'm absolutely starving and I'm gonna go and get the kids in about an hour. I've just toasted up a little pitta and I'm just going to shove it full of whatever I have in the fridge, which is currently avocado, tomatoes, which I grew myself, and some leftover chicken. Oh my goodness. The good news is the entire hall has had a complete coat of paint, including most of the ceiling. some of the hall had already been painted when we first renoed. I remember Ben did a big load down there, but we ran out of paint, so we never did the whole thing. So not all of it needs 2 coats, and quite a big quite a big section of it just needed like for me to like go over it to clean it up a bit. It got on like a bit mucky and grubby, and we had our staircase refinished and changed because even though it was so lovely and like the only original piece of the house left from the 70s, it was so unbelievably unsafe, especially for the kids. So we had to have it changed, and there was still quite a lot of like muck and mess left over from that. So it's looking incredible down there. At least 70% of it needs a second coat, but that first coat is done, and like that was the big thing. I've listened to almost an entire season of Vanderpump Rules. So, and I'm absolutely covered. I ruined my favourite leggings. Why do I do this every time? Why do I think, oh no, it'll be fine, I won't get covered? But yeah, you do. You always do. I need salt. Salt Bay, is that still a thing? So I'm going to absolutely smash down my lunch, which is basically dinner, and then I'm gonna have my Bakewell that I had earlier, and then I'm gonna have to stop for the night because my neck is sore. So we can have an hour of just resting my body before I go and get the kids, and then it'll be time to make the tea and put them to bed and do spelling club and reading, and then I'll probably finally sit down at about 8:30 tonight. So yeah, oh my goodness, I think this might be quite a short vlog today. I was going to give you a veg patch tour of the garden, as one of you ever so kindly asked, to see how my veg is doing, but it's chucking it down. So that might happen later, but if not, I'll do that tomorrow. Right, let's eat, and then I might actually be able to think straight.
I'm the mommy, I'm the daddy, I'm the big sister. We are the babies, we are the babies.
Okay, I have been refueled, renourished, went and got the kids, sat down for half an hour and did a little bit of editing, lost some footage in the process, so I have already filmed this. But I thought I would give you a tour of the white hallway. Is it that exciting? No, probably not. But that's what you get for daily vlogging. So I think the main difference is here. This was all just plaster before, so it's all been painted. This was absolutely filthy before, but it's now nice and clean. I've even done the doors, which was painful because they were already white and you could barely tell a difference, but I just knew I needed to get it done, otherwise I would regret it. This bit here along the bottom of the stairs was such a pain in the bum. It was so fiddly, and the same at the top up there between the slats. There was some mess on that wall from when we had the stairs done, and I have since realised that I've made a right mess on the floor whilst doing that. This is all ceramic tile though, so I should be able to just scrub that off sooner rather than later. But yeah, all of this bit had already been painted before, so I don't need to do another coat here. I need another coat on the skirting boards because they were new. But all of this needs another coat because this bit had been replastered. But that doesn't, and that's good because this is where my coats are going to go. I'm going to put some high hooks for adults and low hooks for kids. All coats can go over there. This is where I would like a rug for, and maybe like a chair or a poof. Somewhere to sit down if you need to, put your shoes on, just to make it a bit more homely really. And this is where the shoe cupboard is gonna go. So I'm definitely gonna give this wall another paint at least, because then I can put the shoe rack in and we're done for now. And yes, I need a nice indoor doormat for here, I think. But yeah, I'm so pleased. I'm absolutely exhausted, and it's it's gone 5 o'clock now, it's 5:20, so no rest for the wicked. Half an hour to sit down. I mean, it was good. I got like first half of the edit done, which is great, which means I won't be up super late tonight. But now I need to get these kids some dinner. I'm not hungry at all because I've only just eaten my lunch. What do you want for tea, baby girl?
Yesterday we said cheesy pasta.
Cheesy pasta?
Yeah, yesterday we said.
That's what we said yesterday, I know. Just checking that you still want that. What did you have for lunch today at school?
Pizza.
You had pizza for lunch today at school? Okay, cheesy pasta for tea. It is then. I have just done something I've not done for a long time, and I just lay down on the bed for half an hour and scrolled through my phone. Literally, just on YouTube, scrolling through, not really thinking about it. Oh, and I genuinely feel better. I think there's such a huge difference between intentional scrolling and when you fall into that trap. And I think that was just my body and my mind saying, Laura, you need to take a minute. I've definitely got caught up in energy today, and like I couldn't stop doing stuff. When I got home and put the tea on, and then I edited some more video, and then I was doing a washing, and I couldn't stop, and I was feeling myself getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So I just stopped, sat down, and just let my mind rest for half an hour. And now I think I'm ready to tackle the end of my day. Oh my goodness. Feel like probably one of the least exciting vlogs I've ever made. I made granola and painted a white wall. But I know you guys are here for more than just one individual video. You're here for the journey of the week. So I am gonna sign this up here so that I can take some nice cute little evening footage for you, and then once the kids are in bed I can sit down, edit this last bit, knit on my sleeve. I'm probably gonna watch Bake Off and then go to bed super early. Painting an entire hallway, man, is so physically demanding. My body is done. I feel like I've been for a 15k, if I'm honest. So thank you yet again for tuning in. Today I actually hit 23k on YouTube, which is really, really nice. I don't pay a huge amount of attention to the numbers. They don't dictate my worth to me, but it's always nice to kind of tick over another milestone. And thank you for everyone who has joined me during these vlogs so far. I mean, this is only the third one, but there's definitely been a surge. It is absolutely lovely to have you here, and I really hope you're enjoying them. I'm really enjoying making these vlogs. I'm excited for tomorrow again, and I'm gonna say it, but it's got me really excited for Vlogmas. Right, no more of that. Thank you so much for joining me again. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll hopefully have a little bit more to do. Oh, I got an email back from my editor saying, just kind of like rounding up some points that I gave to her yesterday. She's got me on the list for tomorrow. Do you know what? I'm going to read you the message, because she said that she sent me the nicest email, and she put, "Hi Laura, you talked about your nervousness several times since you started knitting this design. I can understand that, but you are not inexperienced anymore, and it shows. I really love the construction, and as I said before, it's different from any other sideways designs I know and have worked on." And it was like, it's like, yeah, I just needed that like little boost. I've got so much respect for my editor. She's incredible. She's so knowledgeable. And she's taught me. She feels just as much like a teacher as she does an editor. So to have that seal of approval from her and that little moment of encouragement was just lovely. So I'm really looking forward to getting the next edit back tomorrow, and hopefully we can find a way that works to get that chest circumference super accurate. And then yeah, setting up the test knit takes a lot of work. It really does. It's hours at a computer setting up a test knit, and going through the responses is days of work sometimes. So we'll see if that gets done this week. It would be good to maybe get the test call live before the weekend, and then I can just not think about it whilst my friends are here for the weekend, and then Monday I can sit down and smash through it. But we will see. I do like to keep on top of a test call once it's gone live and just keep going through the applications as they come in rather than spending 10 hours doing it in one go. But we will get to that another day. Now it is time to rest and to chill, tuck everyone in for the night, and yeah, I'm gonna have a hot chocolate tonight. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.